and to get along with the online programs in the interest of our students. And really, I'm still more to say proud enough. Dr. Gnana Sundari Madam Gnana Saraswathi Madam is one of the star in our capable of handling many of the issues, not only online but also during classes. Also, he is able to get along with them. And now, for the present day, of course, in future also, and forthcoming days, I'm very confident that almost all the students are supposed to learn things almost by online. Of course, I'm so to say it is a boon because of pandemic, because of this COVID-19. In another sense, they are not able to meet in person one to one. Of course, with that kind of human relationship is to some extent they are not able to achieve. In any case, in coming days, we are now supposed to learn things through online. I I hope this is one of the methodology. Now we have started. We have conducted so far 4 seminars online. One in biofertilizers and by Dr. Dinakaran, and two more by Hari Krishnan, and one by Sheila Karthik, and now we are in the fourth seminar. I, I, I wish everybody to learn more, that is etiquette. I think Madam will cover how to behave, and how to be perfect during attending the online classes. Not only that, online, when anything in any future, you are supposed to go ahead and you are going to meet within these 4 corners. We are going to spend our time in future. We are going to spend our time at international level, and this through online. We will be able to achieve. And young aspirants and young scientists, and I could see many of the students who are all great aspirants, for which our professors, I feel more proud to say, our professors are the best guides for all the online learners. Now I wish, on behalf of the Mitra College Board, Secretary, President, and all other office bearers, not only all our general body members, I wish our college team will bring all the online, not only this, the future coming online, all online seminars successful. But I pray Goddess Meenakshi for the best. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your thank you,
Thank
sir,
you.
for your wonderful words. Now I
Thank
call
you.
upon Parvati to introduce the resource person.
Good evening, everyone. I welcome you all to share this great event with us. I would like to have some words about the resource person, our Assistant Professor, Dr. Gnana Saraswathi Ma'am of Botany Department, Dimitra College. She holds her PhD degree under the specialization of plant ecophysiology. I'm honored to have I'm honored to share that she has been awarded with gold medal for her outstanding performance in MPhil Botany degree by Pondicherry University. Her research article published in Current Science was considered as a featured article. Also, she worked on Indo-German collaborative project and visited Bayreuth University, Germany. A well-known professor who takes care to develop the child of her students to become a well-civilized and respectable humans in the society. Thank you, ma'am. I invite you, ma'am, to share your thoughts with all of us. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Parvati. Etiquette is the science of living. It embraces everything. It is ethics. It is honor. Ma'am, we are so eager to hear your speech, so I request our chief guest to take over this section.
Thank you so much, and it's really a very pleasant evening, and I'm so happy and I'm so proud that the session being inaugurated by our one of the very best directors of Madura College Board, respected Secretary Madura College Board, respected Treasurer Madura College Board, our most respected and beloved principal of our college, all the senior faculty, those who are present here, head of the departments, various head of the departments, and Professor Dr. Mail Murugan very specifically. And my friend, I can say not just friend, but also a mentor in learning the techniques, Professor S. Sivaramakrishnan sir. Other senior faculty, Dr. Sheila P. Karthik ma'am, one of my very good friends, my other colleagues, and my very most beloved students. To all of you, my very pleasant evening here. Yes, this is a very good initiative from Madura College side. That the term eSamvaad, I do not know how many of us have noticed it. It's like an academic discussion. It's an academic forum in wherein elite people talk. I don't know whether I'm an elite personality, but I still say the topic chosen by Professor Sivaramakrishnan is very apt, and it says that is overall covering of so many good ideas and scientific innovations or whatnot. So that is a e-samvadi conversation, which is very academic and purely academic formal. So first of all, thanks for this great initiative. With those few words, I think I can get into the topic, that is etiquette. So to most of my students, they know what is etiquette is all about. And whenever I say etiquette, people think that it is something related to 18th century. It is not so. My topic will cover the introduction, wherein I will say the conception of the idea of etiquette. And etiquette and Tamil need in Urdu, how they are correlated. What is the apt definition for etiquette, and what are the other synonyms for etiquette? Is there really a need for etiquette these days? So comes the need for etiquette. What are the types of etiquette then? Do we have to follow them? With a special mention about online etiquette, because whether we like it or not, it is the mandate of the present situation. So we definitely have to learn the online etiquette. What is the importance of etiquette? Is there anything importance associated, attached with it? Yes, of course, yes. How to acquire etiquette? Is it possible to acquire etiquette? And then I will conclude with my thoughts. So, to deal with the conception of the idea of etiquette, all my students from the botany department, they know that I not just respect them, I love them and I care for them. No one can deny. So all my students, they are very much aware of it. So from that perspective, not just my own students, I consider every single aspect from the student community. So the conception of the idea of etiquette came into my mind when I saw a student opinion in the Hindu newspaper in June 2019. There was a girl student, as she was expressing her views in the Hindu newspaper, and she was saying that she actually wanted to request the faculty in India that someone can give them in elaborate the way they should conduct themselves in the society, at home, with neighbors, with their own classmates, with their teachers, and if they go to a workplace, how should they conduct themselves? That was the question raised by a student. And she added to it that I can learn anything, not just me. Any student can learn anything from various academic platforms. It is very easy for us. But how to conduct ourselves? We really lack in this. That was the concept said by the student. And that was ringing in my mind. And when I went with the same thought to college, some of my own botany students, they came to me, and they, after 2:35, earlier the college was college got over at 2:35, so I used to sit for my students, and they used to come and talk to me various issues. I used to learn from them, they used to learn from me. It's a mutual learning. And they used to tell me that, ma'am, we do not know how to behave really. We want to conduct ourselves in a very dignified, better way, but we really do not know how to do that. That was again ringing in my mind. What should I do for this? I should do something for this. And when we conduct parent teachers meeting, the parents, the poor parents, they used to come and tell us, Madam, we don't want our child to get 90% or gold medal or 80% or to get a pass. We want our child or a boy or a girl to how to conduct themselves. If some guests come home, they don't even bother to wish them. They don't even bother to invite them. So this we don't want. We are sending our children to learn certain good things, not just the marks or the degree. So all these three things from various sources, parents, students, and the students somewhere in the Delhi University. So all these gave me an idea. Why don't I conduct a course, an etiquette course? And that was the time from the management side. They asked us to give certain course for the students, extra courses. So then it conceived, the idea conceived, then I researched much for giving it in a very nice way. Every one of us know how to say students, how to behave, all those things. But when you conduct a course, you should really have to have a study materials. You should really have to focus on how you are going to present, because it is after in the afternoon classes, so students should be very much interested. So then we conducted a course. I conducted a course from the botany department with the support of all the faculty members, head of the department, and those who have got studied this course, they have got extra credits. Even though course is for 30 hours, it did not go up to 30 hours. It went beyond that, maybe 2 months or so. So that is the idea where I conceived that this etiquette to be conducted. So whenever I say etiquette, even when I was suggesting this idea, many of my colleagues, they said, see, this is all 18th century issues. What way it will fit into the current generation? It has nothing to do with it. It's all gone is gone, and it's all British or French people when they ruled somebody. They just gave all these ideas how to behave, all those things. It won't suit now for our society. And I would like to tell you, friends, இது எட்டிகெட்டுங்கிறது வந்து பிரெஞ்சோ பிரிட்டிஷ் பீப்புளோ போட்டது கிடையாது. நம்மளோட தமிழ் நீதி நூல்கள் எடுத்துக்கிட்டா, I've given a big list here. Let us not go into the details of all those big lists. It is really big, and 1 hour is definitely not enough. Let us take Tirukural. Let us take Aathichudi. Let us take Kondrai Vendan. So all these things, they talk about etiquette a lot. திருக்குறள்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா, I used to start all my classes saying திருக்குறள். திருக்குறள்ல மட்டுமே அறத்துப்பால்ல மட்டுமே பார்த்தா எவ்ரி டே எவ்ரி சிங்கிள் ஹியூமன் பீயிங் எப்படி நடந்துக்கணும்ன்றத பத்தி டீடைலா போட்டிருக்கோம். அதனால etiquette is not something associated with the 18th century. Every day, even in the future, it has to be definitely followed, because whether we we learn etiquette or not, people expect it from us. So etiquette is very important. And what is that etiquette? It is all about how you conduct yourself. How you conduct yourself. And you may think that etiquette is it only the certificate course or something. I would like to tell you, my friends, there is a school called Finishing School in Ooty, and there is a school called Finishing School in Bengaluru. They teach etiquette as 3 months course, 6 months course, 1 year course, 3 years course, depending upon the need of the students. So it is not somewhere in French or Britain or somewhere else in Germany. It is there in our own Tamil Nadu, in Ooty, and in the neighbor state. So these are just two examples. So it is very important how you should conduct yourself. It is very important. As far as a single individual, there is no necessity to learn anything. But we are moving with the society, and society has some expectations from each one of us. We definitely have to exhibit polite behavior. There is some code of conduct. You have to do that. There are certain good behaviors which are not written, they are unwritten, but yet we have to do that. And it is all how you behave in the society, a proper manners, a decorum. This is a very important word, a very good word which starts in D, in the alphabet D. Many of the words in the alphabet D, it has negative meanings, but there are certain good words in the alphabet D, which one of them is decorum. So high order decorum must be maintained. ஸோ அறம் அல்லது ஒழுக்க நெறி அப்படின்னு சொல்ற அந்த ஒரு பெரிய அம்ரல்லா டேர்ம்ல எட்டிகெட்டுங்கிறது ஒரு சின்ன சப்செட். ஸோ எல்லாருக்கும் தெரிகிற மாதிரி தமிழ்ல சொல்லணும்னா, சமூகத்துல நம்ம எப்படி நடந்துக்கணும், சமூகத்தால ஏற்றுக்கொள்ளப்பட்ட நடைமுறைகளின் தொகுப்பு என்னன்னு தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டு அதற்கு ஒத்திசைவாகவும் அந்த முரண்பாடுகளை குறைக்கும் வண்ணமும் செயல்படணும்னு எல்லாரும் எல்லார்ட்டையும் எதிர்பார்க்கணும். எல்லாரும் எல்லார்ட்டையும் எதிர்பார்க்கறது இந்த மாதிரி கொஞ்சம் கோஆபரேட்டிவா இருக்கணும், ரொம்ப டிஃபரன்சஸ் வச்சுக்க கூடாது, ஒரு அட்ஜஸ்ட்மெண்ட்ல போகணும் அப்படிங்கிறது எல்லாரும் எல்லா செக்டர்லயும் எல்லாத்தையும் எதிர்பார்க்கக்கூடிய ஒரு விஷயம். And in the recent you can see this etiquette is being in the form of அறிவியல் வழிமுறைகளை பின்பற்றி கூட ஆராயப்படுகிறதுன்னு சொல்றாங்க. இப்போ இதுக்கு ஒரு சின்ன இது என்னது, இதுக்கு அறிவியலுக்கும் என்ன சம்பந்தம்னா, அழகா இன்ட்ரோடக்ஷன்ல சொன்னாங்க, it is it is behavioral science னு சொன்னாங்க. இன்ட்ரடியூஸ் பண்ண அனுராதா, ஐ கெஸ் மிஸ் அனுராதா பஸ்ஸை. ஸோ அறிவியல் வழிமுறைகள், நம்மளோட கல்ச்சர் வந்து வணக்கம் சொல்றது, வெஸ்டர்ன் வந்து ஹேண்ட் ஷேக் பண்றது. இப்போ என்ன ஆகி போச்சுன்னு உங்களுக்கு எல்லாருக்கும் தெரியும். ஆஃப்டர் த கொரோனா அவுட் பிரேக் பேண்டமிக், வாட் இஸ் ஹேப்பனிங்? எவ்ரிஒன் ஷுட் கோ பேக் டு வணக்கம். ஸோ அறிவியல் வழிமுறைகளை தழுவியும் நம்ம வந்து சின்ன சின்ன விஷயங்களை மாற்றி அமைஞ்சுட்டு அது சார்ந்து வாழும். ஸோ நெறி சார்ந்தும் உலகம் தழுவியதுமான பொருள்ல ஒழுக்க நெறிங்கிறது வந்து எந்த ஒரு குறிப்பிட்ட சூழ்நிலையிலும் ஒவ்வொருவரும் கடைபிடிக்க வேண்டிய லட்சிய நடத்தைகளின் தொகுப்பு. தெளிவா புரியும் நினைக்கிறேன். ஒவ்வொருவரும் கடைபிடிக்க வேண்டிய, ஸ்டூடெண்டா இருந்தாலும் சரி, டீச்சரா இருந்தாலும் சரி, இல்ல ஒரு இண்டிவிஜுவலா இருந்தாலும் சரி, இல்ல காலேஜ்ல ஒர்க் பண்ணாலும் சரி, whether you go to an industry or you work in a corporate, wherever you go, when you are an individual associated with the next personality, second person with you, definitely you have to follow certain things. So how do we say, how do we define etiquette in English? A set of customs, set of rules. For what? For polite behavior, especially among a particular class or people or in a particular profession. Very important. If we follow this etiquette, certain customs, certain rules, certain polite behavior, definitely the place we present will have lots of harmony and we can work really, really very peacefully. And there's another definition which is very apt, almost the same but slight differences. Customs or rules governing behavior regarded as correct and acceptable in social and official life. So if you go to office, if there is liberty, it doesn't mean that you have to take it for granted. You definitely have to obey the rules and regulations of the office, even the social. So you cannot say, I'm so independent, I will only ride my bike only in the center of the road. You can't say that. There are rules. You have to ride in the left if you are in India. If the countries allow you to ride on the right side, you have to do that. You cannot say, I'm independent, I will do whatever I want. You can't say. So there are certain rules and regulations are there which we are supposed to follow in every single system. So what are the synonyms for etiquette? See, all these constitute only etiquette. So etiquette is etiquette. So in earlier days in French, this quote is there, no? There's some ceremonial, behavioral, procedural aspects are there in the court. So there they mandatorily they fix some rules and regulations. So they are called the etiquette actually. So a ticket for the conduct, that is etiquette. Then it has become changed to etiquette. So etiquette, the plural, singular form, both the etiquette only. So it's protocol, or you can call it as a polite behavior, or you can call it as a good manners, or you can call it as high decorum or dignified way or customary or whatnot. All these civility, with the civic sense, how you are going to behave in a society. So all these synonyms constitute only etiquette. Is there a need for etiquette? Yes, of course, yes. Yes, definitely there is a need for etiquette. For what? The way you talk, the way you walk, the way you behave in a society, that you will get it only when you learn etiquette. And etiquette makes you a cultured individual who leaves his or her mark wherever she or he goes. If you show etiquette in every single level from bottom to the top, definitely people will recognize you. So you can leave a very great mark once you leave the place. So that is the power of etiquette. And etiquette is essential for an everlasting first impression. So when you meet a person, the way you behave, the way you talk, the way you walk, and the way you dress, that leaves an everlasting first impression among the people. So you should be very confident. When you will be very confident, when you think that you are doing things very properly, and the way you interact with your own parents, with your fellow workers, with your friends, with your superiors, all will speak about a personality. I cannot say I will behave rude like this way only. I cannot say that. Shows that what is my upbringing. நான் ரொம்ப ரூடா நடந்துக்கிட்டேன்னா நான் எப்படி வளர்க்கப்பட்டிருக்கேங்கிறது தான் அது குறிக்கும். அதனால நம்ம ஒழுங்கா நடந்துக்கணும். It should start from the parents. It should start among our students, friends, your fellow workers, with your superiors. So that will show how good personality you are and how beautifully you are brought up by your parents. And etiquette will enable any individual to earn respect and appreciation in the society. See, தானா மரியாதை வரும். If you follow all the etiquette, மரியாதைங்கிறது தானா வரும். Because etiquette is all about how conveniently you make other people comfortable. So others should feel comfortable with you. They shouldn't feel annoying by your behavior. If you exhibit etiquette, politeness to the fellow person, to the second person next to you, definitely you will earn respect, not just that appreciations also. They cannot hold the appreciation for a longer time. They will start appreciating you. And it is a real good feeling when you get appreciations from people. And no one would ever feel like talking to a person who doesn't know how to behave or how to speak to a person. So if I want to talk to you, if you talk to me very nicely, I'll talk to you. If I talk to you and if you don't reciprocate in the same way, if you are very rude, would I ever like to talk to you? Definitely no. So it's very important, and it's a feeling of trust and loyalty in individuals, and one becomes more responsible and very mature. See, as it is, we celebrate birthdays, it doesn't mean that it's all over. See, you are growing by you just by number. You should be the ஆளும் வளரணும் அறிவும் வளரணும், அதுதான் வளர்ச்சின்னு சொல்றாங்க. அந்த மாதிரி நாள் ஆக ஆக வந்து the maturity வரணும். You should be more responsible. So அதெல்லாம் வந்து etiquette கத்துக்கிட்டா டெஃபினட்டா அதெல்லாம் வரும். இப்ப எல்லாத்துக்கும் மேல வந்து these days there is no value for relationships. Everyone is longing for some very trustworthy relationship, but every one of us know whether we get it. It is the $1,000,000 question. Deep within the heart, everyone is longing for certain true good relationships who can understand them properly. So if you exhibit good qualities, polite behavior, courtesy, and if you respect the other person, there comes the value of relationships. So it is all the cooperation, it is all the self-discipline. And see, etiquette is not easy. You have to be highly self-disciplined. Unless otherwise you are self-disciplined, it is not easy. It is not at all easy. And you should be considerate towards other people, and you should have a determination, and you should be truthful to the people, and you should respect them, and there should be flexibility. Okay, not give hard and fast rules. So be a little flexible, and you should be creative also. When you write something to people, when you talk to them, no, make little creativity so that people will get impressed. They will feel comfortable with you. But I tell you with a caution that you must have detachment definitely. Otherwise, if you are too polite, if you have too much etiquette, maybe you will get into some problems. So definitely, by providing all these things, you should draw a line where you can stop the people. Etiquette should also know how to cut on someone at a particular level. That is also etiquette. So detachment, with detachment, all these things, they cause the etiquette, which will value the relationship. And that's, I can say, maybe if you get, all the students will get married maybe after 2-3 years or so, and you may show love and affection, care for your partner, but if you're too much intruding into their personal things and work officials, nobody will like it. So you should draw a line. You should know where to draw a line. So that is what this detachment means. You cannot take more privilege on somebody, even if it is own child, even if it is your own husband, or even if it is your wife. So get there, the personal space. Don't get into their personal space. So the detachment should be there. So why should the college students receive etiquette training? All the college students, those who are present here, they have many social media friends. Maybe 500, 600, there'll be a big competition among students. So I have 500 people, I have 600 followers. How many people do you have? How many likes do you get? But do you really realize that you really have trouble communicating in person? You may have social media friends, but you do not know really how to communicate in person. That must be learned by people. For what I should learn that? I have social media friends. எனக்கு 1000 பேர் followers இருக்காங்க. I am like a king or queen. என்னை பார்த்து மத்தவங்க காப்பி பண்றாங்க. That is not the man. That is not all at all. When you proceed with your life, once you end your college life, there comes the prickle bed. As far as you are in the college, it is a rosy bed. காலேஜ்ல இருக்கிற வரைக்கும் அது வந்து என்ன சொல்ல, ஒரு மலர் படுக்கை மாதிரி தான். அதுக்கப்புறம் வெளியே போனாதான் சொசைட்டி வந்து merciless teacher. I always tell students, it is a merciless teacher. It won't give any theory or something. It will directly give you practical. நேரா அடிதான். அப்ப என்ன பண்ணணும்னா, பாலிஷ்டு பிஹேவியர் இருக்கணும், பொலைட் சோஷியல் ஸ்கில்ஸ் இருக்கணும், ஒரு ப்ரொஃபஷனல் இமேஜ் வந்து மெயின்டைன் பண்ணணும். ஓகே, இட் இஸ் ஃபைன். திஸ் இஸ் த ஏஜ் தட் யூ கேன் என்ஜாய். என்னெல்லாம் காதுல பியர்ஸ் பண்ணிக்கணும், மூக்குல பியர்ஸ் பண்ணிக்கிறது, பல்லுல பியர்ஸ் பண்றது, லிப்ஸ்ல, ஓகே, யூ கேன் டூ வாட் எவர். பட் when you enter into a college, when you enter into a profession, when you enter into a corporate company, or when you enter into a workplace, you should definitely project yourself in a very professional manner. What the system says, accordingly, you definitely have to project yourself with a professional image. Why should I do that அப்படின்னு கேட்டா, to have an edge over other competitors when on interview for a job, or when how you do be successful in your life without projecting you in a very proper way. So for all these, it is very important that the college students, they need to have. நல்லா கேட்டுக்கோங்க, நான் இனிஷியலாவே சொல்லிட்டேன், ஐடியா வந்து came from a student in a university, a girl student from a university. So ஒரு மெச்சூர்டா ரெஸ்பான்சிபிளா இருக்கக்கூடிய any student will definitely like to have etiquette training. And you may have gold medal, you may have 90% marks or whatnot, but that all will take you only to the table of the interview. But how you behave, so when the interview is going on, how the way you get inside, the way you dress up, the way you keep your file, the way you sit on the chair, these are all the professional behaviors that will get you a job. And this particular time of not economically bad times, not only here, all over the world and in the future too, how you should mingle with others, how you should form a networking, how you should eat also, very important. How should you eat, how should you dress, how should you behave professionally? That is very important for students to have a successful life. That is why here comes the road to respect, manners and etiquette, and you are right here. And what are the types of etiquette? You will be very much surprised to see this title. You have etiquette at home. You have etiquette with your neighbors, you must follow. You have etiquette at your workplace, whether it is college or institution or research or a university or your personal, if you go get employed in a bank or wherever place, working place or learning environment. Mobile phone etiquette, all of us are using. And nowadays it is going to be like one of our eyes and hands, and how you should use this one. And dress code etiquette is very important. It's very separate for females and males, and we definitely have to follow. And etiquette with children. See, this is one very pathetic situation that we face every day in every place, even on the road. How badly the elders behave. I don't say the physical bad behavior, I say the verbal bad behavior. Just like that, they speak anything and everything that comes to your mind to the children. So, children, they learn everything from their visual observation. So, every single word we utter to the kids, very innocent kids, should go through 2 3 channels before it comes out of our mouth. We should definitely think and behave in a very proper way in front of children, so that the children will learn the right etiquette from us. And how many of us care for these poor kids on the road? You know, there is etiquette. That is called etiquette with pets. So pathetic. You might have seen many of my students, they grow pets at home. I used to love talking to them about their pets. They know that. If they have a pet, then I used to talk to them every now and then. Whenever I feel like talking about a dog or a cat, I used to talk. So etiquette is very important. We have to learn. And etiquette for ladies, etiquette for domestic help. All of us know, all of us have helpers at home, most of us. How do we treat them? There is big unheard voice of these domestic workers, whether the person who comes to wash your utensils or do the domestic help, the plumber or the milkman or whoever comes and helps to us. How do we treat them? How do we first of all address them? Etiquette matters a lot. Etiquette at weddings, borrowing and lending, not only the money, but even library books. You take library book and when you give it back and it is in a horrible situation. So there must be lending in. And you see the man goes by car and spits on the road. What is the etiquette? Where is the etiquette? And you have etiquette on the highway also. You have parking etiquette. Maybe students here may not know the seriousness attached to this parking etiquette. But when you go to cities, when you own a car, then you will really know how difficult it is to get a parking slot. So there is a parking etiquette. If you don't follow it, then you are fired off. Even in our own bigger cities. So that is parking etiquette, and you have rail travel etiquette. In Indian Air Railways, you know, with the big transport of the world, and air travel etiquette. See, the picture depicts very clearly. And now, for example, if I take my son to my college, and if there are some senior professors are coming and asking, "Oh, is he your son?" and the way, how should I introduce my son to them? So that is an etiquette that we have to follow. And etiquette with senior citizens, very important. Etiquette with VIPs and higher ups. Etiquette with foreign visitors, and etiquette in the park, etiquette in the theater, and etiquette in the restaurant. See, this one particular thing, like with VIPs, it's really important. You invite somebody to a working place, and you definitely have to follow the protocol depending upon their position. It is very important. Otherwise, it reflects on your working place and its culture. So definitely we have to follow. And this one, etiquette with foreign visitors. At this juncture, I would like to mention 2 things. One is acknowledgement and the advice. Acknowledgement and advice. When I was nominated to visit Germany, Bayreuth University, my professor, Professor Dr. Kailash Paliwal, for the first time, and there's another professor who sent me to Germany, Professor Dr. Sudhakar Swami. He recently retired from Madurai Commonwealth University from the Department of Plant Sciences. And Professor Kailash Paliwal is no more, and Professor Dr. Sudhakar Swami is there in Hyderabad now. They told me very clearly that my professor, they call me very comfortably Jayashree. They say, Jayashree, you are representing not your own self, you are representing our country. Everything that you speak, all your behavior, your action should be very perfect because you are representing our country, because it is a DST DAAD collaboration, Indo-German collaborative project. So they said, so I learned many things from my guides and I behaved in such a way. I learned etiquette, what are the etiquettes that's been followed in Germany. I was those days there is no internet, but I used to collect information from the library books, and that is the one. And acknowledging, I said, acknowledgement is another etiquette. And even here, now I'm presenting it to you. I have to acknowledge two people. One of my, two of my students. I think they will be here only. Mr. Ravi Shankar of 3rd BSc Botany and Mr. Ariran of the 3rd BSc Botany. In March, when the management asked us to take online classes, in the March itself they've given a notification, if possible, just try to take classes. I had very good PowerPoint, very good information with me, but technical aspects, how to, the file size was larger, so I wanted to reduce the file size, and I went and asked my student. I called him and I asked, and he guided me. He's my teacher now. He's my teacher now. And later then I learned, and by seeing things, so I'm acknowledging him now. And second thing, now I'm presenting it to you. This is because of Professor Sivarakrishnan. Sir is junior to me only by age, but I don't mind. I every time I don't even mind to disturb him. I learned from Professor a lot how to present everything very beautifully. I learned from him all the technical aspects. I'm saying all the technical aspects. I was in it was only 20-30% technical knowledge I had, but the subject wise I'm okay. But technical knowledge I learned. Now I can say I'm almost 80% okay, and I still keep learning. So we should acknowledge that also. So that is a good etiquette. Foreign people and even our Indian people, they like a lot. And you see these three pictures here. Nowadays, can you go to park? Can you take your children and go to park? You know the reason why I'm saying this. So that is a bad etiquette. And you see, you go to a theater and they keep the mobile on and make everybody, you keep talking and you project light and everybody is annoyed. And this restaurant is a place for get together among friends, but what do? They are all with their cell phone. So it is all bad etiquette. And eating etiquette is there, shopping etiquette is there, etiquette in places of worship, very important, very sensitive issue. Etiquette at the death ceremony, equally sensitive. Etiquette in the office. I have two pictures here. Look at the lady. Huh? She's sitting on the table, working table. All the tables are meant to work on it. But what is she doing? Very bad etiquette. And similarly here, there is a working table, another lady is sitting here. It's not good. So you may project yourself so modern, adopting Western culture, everything. But what do you do here? You are sitting on the table. You are not supposed to sit there. Nobody is not supposed to sit on the table. You have a bench, you sit at the bench, and you have a chair, you sit on the chair. That is how it has to go. And you have etiquette in changing jobs. When you want to change a job, no, there is an etiquette. And how should you behave in a meeting? And if you are in a hospital and you are waiting politely with so much pain and someone simply passes away and gets into the doctor's room, how are you going to behave with the person? What the person is doing is wrong, but how are you going to say to the person? You should be very stubborn. At the same time, you cannot, just because you want to sit politely knowing etiquette, you cannot let things happen. Where you should cut on, you should learn that. And personal hygiene, I don't want to talk about this because the summertime it is horrible everywhere. And nobody wants to talk about the toilet and washroom etiquette, but I don't mind talking about that. We travel through air, we travel through train, and we use all our working place office restroom. We all of us know how pathetic it is. Every one of us want a clean washroom. Every one of us, when we enter into it, we clip our nose. But what do we do after we? Do we ever leave to the other person the same way no? Or are we going to give the other person a very comfortable washroom? It's a $1 million question mark. Here comes the self-discipline. No one can come and put a camera and watch you, but you should have a self-discipline to make it proper. And it's funny part, you have loudspeaker is etiquette. We shouldn't speak about that, because if some festival comes for 4 or 5 days, it will be on a full volume. And those people are not bothered about the BP patients. They are not bothered about the patients with cardiac problems. So it keeps going. And teacher etiquette, you may be wondering, ma'am, you are saying all this about it for everybody. Is there any teacher etiquette? Of course, yes. The teacher should know. It is very difficult to be a teacher these days. You should have the heart to love the unlovable. Imagine, heart to love the unlovable. Not possible, but you should have it, and endure the unbearable. You know how things are there, and all of us, how much you annoy the teacher, but we have to bear with that. We have to endure that. It's impossible, but it is the etiquette that teachers have to do that. And before I come and teach in a class, I must be first of all ready to learn. I learned from Professor Sivaramakrishnan sir. And I learned from Hyderabad University, 3 or 4, 5 days intensive, 9 to 5, 5:30 intensive training. I must learn, otherwise I cannot teach you now. So we must ready to learn, and we must be very much prepared for the subject as well as general. And we should address the students by their names, not like yellow shirt, blue dupatta. Never. That is very bad. So we should address the students by their names. All students, all teachers, we address. I don't think anybody do that. And appreciations in public and corrections in private, that will have a great impact on student community, and make learning possible. And model, I cannot expect etiquette from a student if I don't perform etiquette properly. So I should have some etiquette so that I can demand it from my student. So that is the student etiquette. See, the list doesn't stop here. It goes PowerPoint etiquette, recommendation etiquette, sitting posture etiquette, lecturing posture etiquette. But I'm not going to concentrate on that. What I'm going to work upon is classroom etiquette, dress code etiquette, graduation interview, MOBIQUETTE etiquette, social media, email, and online etiquette. And why the classroom etiquette is important is because of this. The teacher is working on the board, but what is happening here all around? Please look at that. So it is very important. But it is better with our students that they are a little bit okay. I appreciate that. So claps for them. And why it is important to understand the proper classroom behavior, and they shouldn't disturb others. So learning centered environment should be in such a way that you should really be involved in learning without any disturbances, and you should develop a mature, responsible, and respectable behavior towards your instructors and the fellow students. And it is education is your responsibility, and definitely you have to stick on to the rules and regulations of it. And here comes the classroom student etiquette. First of all, it should be really, really punctual, and you should keep your mobiles off definitely, and you should come to class prepared. When I say this, I highlighted it here because when I went to Germany, when I was asked to take class by my mentor, I went and first I stood in the class, and I just started addressing and introducing myself, and I started addressing the grouping, and there were hands raising. I was wondering what doubt they had before I could start the class. They said, this is the topic I learned from the main instructor, from the chair, and can you please explain this? And there's another hand raising, can you please explain this? So they come to class prepared even before me. So that is how we have to do. That is a rule, and we have to attend every class, and we should stay engaged in the class. There shouldn't be any private chats, and we should participate really in the discussion. Ma'am, everybody says the same thing. What is that new you are saying? I'm saying, my children, these are all the etiquette that you definitely have to learn and follow. And if you are coming late and if you go early, you should seek permission, and you make the classroom very audible by taking food inside the class, and who will clean the room, and very frequent washroom visits. I wish, I pray to the Lord Almighty that none of my students get diabetic. They should, because frequent bathroom visits shows that there may be some health problem, especially diabetic. So please see that this should be avoided. And scientifically, there is how much you can hold. It is there. If it is really urgent, you can go, but not always. And cleaning the classroom and how you are presenting yourself. This one particular word, presenting yourself, it means so many things. How you dress up, how you comb your hair, and how you are answering. If some way, if teacher shouts at you, how you are responding to it. So all these matters a lot. And adopt rules on your absence. If you're not coming to the class, yes, you are not in 17th century. You have all the facilities, technicalities available. You can tell well in advance. You can message. And I really don't understand why students don't wear this ID card, and what bothers. This cell phone is much heavier than the ID card, or what? I really don't understand why they don't wear the ID card. Say, I myself is wearing ID card here. I don't mind. It's a pride for me. And respect your classmates, respect the instructors, and don't dominate your classmates. And no bullying among classmates. Very important. And very important. Is the way we address the invigilator who's coming for the examination. It is very bad to look at. Sometimes they call like this way, showing the finger. It's very bad. If you need a paper, really, can you get up or just raise your hand in a very gentle way. Even the school children, they do it very properly. So we have to do like that way. And whenever you go and meet any superiors, even if I go and meet superiors in my working place, I used to take a pencil, and I used to take a small notepad or paper. Only then whatever they say, you have to know, right? And don't you have certain rules which you have to do after missing the class. It's a big thing. I'm not going to cover all that because time is already running. And frustration management, very important. You have to learn that for any means, from your family or because of friends, if you have any frustrations, or always your mentors are there, you just go and approach them. You should not hold frustration for a longer time scientifically, because cortisol is the stress hormone which is secreted. The more you are stressed, the more you are prone to cardiac arrest at the early stage of your life. So very important. So every teacher should try to bring a happy hormone, dopamine, or comfortable hormone the moment they see the teacher. Possible when you speak to the teacher, go and speak to the teacher, so that the problem is she or he will try to solve the problem at least. And be open for learning. Why I say this? Because these days we don't see all the teachers know all the things to what to say to students, how to bring them up. The problem lies with the students that you are not open for learning. If we say anything, even now in a slighter way, you take it to your heart so heavily. You people are very sensitive. You shouldn't be. So you should be open for learning, whether it is a subject or any general corrections. So please be open for learning. And dress code etiquette, it is these days getting worse and worse, that everyone thinks that it is their perfect right and full freedom to wear whatever they want. It is not so. We are not in any alien planet. We have a neighbor person. If the person is not comfortable with it, and if the society doesn't allow it, we are not supposed to follow. Okay, leave off the society. When we come to a professional place, workplace, maybe college or research or university or institution or your IT company or business, whatever it is, just obey the dress code of that particular institution or the particular workplace. And if you were very rude to disobey, it's not good. And if you ignore, that is also very rude. And you should follow the occasion. I should say this very specifically because, okay, if we have some college functions like Diwali festival celebration or Pongal celebration or Christmas celebration, you wear the way you want, no problem. Whatever you want, chicken, ennallamo, podlam, podlam. But when it comes to an academic seminar, you will see boys and girls wearing set sari and set banyan or something, and with so much of flowers, and it looks so odd and awkward. And you should behave in a dress it in a decent way that other people should respect you. Mere copying is, I tell you, I'm sorry to use this word, it is really awkward. We should not simply copy someone else's dressing code. We should see whether it suits for us, whether we are comfortable in that. For working place, it is not advisable to be luxurious all the time. Graduation etiquette, need to speak about this a lot, because uh, you get a degree and you really do not know how to conduct yourself in a very high decorum atmosphere like graduation ceremony. And here there are certain pictures. See, we still follow the earlier Western style. Only Banaras Hindu University 2-3 years back, it has brought the graduation dress code to our Indian system, but majority of us still we are following it. Okay, let us follow, let us not follow, depends on the higher authorities to take decision upon that. Let us not discuss about that. But when you wear it, there are certain rules and regulations which also we are not following. See here, there are pictures. I can see the tassel, the cap. It is on the right side. That means they already have got their degree. And see here you have the tassel on the left side. That means this person is not yet got their degree. And again, there is difference. If you got the degree, if you are UG, you should put the tassel in one side. If you are PG, you have don't have. See, these like so many things are there in graduation. But let us not go into the details of that. But how you should conduct during the ceremony is very important. So there is a high order decorum must be maintained, because see, it is very important occasion, very professional, very academic. ஒரு செரிமனி அதுல எப்படி நடந்துக்கிறோங்கிறது தான் மேட்டர், ரொம்ப முக்கியம். So as soon as you receive the invitation from a college, I tell you all, please feel good. Receive the letter, open it and read it, and know, be thankful wholeheartedly for all the efforts that you put in. Thank all the teachers who were behind the screen working for you. Thank your own parents who were so much patient enough to bring you to that level. They might have not seen their degree, but you are getting this very happy feeling for them. So you go and thank them. Then, if you believe in God, no, say thanks to God, otherwise simply leave it. Then you reply to the college if anything is asked. And dress code should be highly decent, highly neat and academic. Again, ஒரு பட்டு புடவைய கட்டிக்கிட்டு ஜிலு ஜிலு அந்த நேரம் பார்த்தா பசங்க வந்து ஒரு முக்கா பேண்ட போட்டுட்டு வராங்க. I really don't understand where is the ethics of dress code. Is this the thing that we are following? We follow simply just like that certain Western things. But you know how Westerners behave when they have a high decorum of a graduation ceremony. It is very strict with them, not so liberal like we have here. It's very strict with them. You cannot just go with the mukka pant and all that. So it should be highly professional, and they should reach college on time. I really don't understand whether you people will go to movie theater at 6:30 if the movie starts at 6 o'clock. Never, na? By 6 o'clock or even before that, you will be there in the movie theater. But why do you come late to the ceremony like this? See, it is many professors are involved, many people are involved, and there are certain procedures. Once you come, you have to do certain follow the instructions. We have to collect and give it to the people, those who are in charge in the stage, near the stage. In every college, where every institution, this is the procedure. But you come at the last moment. How bad etiquette it is, you know? How bad. What did you learn all these 3 years? It's very mad. It's high decorum. That's what I made a mention. It's a high order, not even high decorum, high order decorum to be maintained. So you should follow instructions. Once you complete, then you meet and chat, friends. And when you are taken to the Shamiana, seating arrangements, follow the instructions for stage entry and exit. There are certain rules. Don't crowd yourself and stay in a proper order as instructed. Avoid taking selfies using mobile phones. It's so awkward all the time with mobile, as if you are the busiest person of the whole world. It doesn't look good at all. And when you are on the stage near the dignitaries, you should definitely smile. I'm not saying you should laugh. You should smile. You should bow and you should thank. Don't pluck the degree from the dignitary. No, gently receive it from the dignitary. Stand there for a while. If you are very good etiquette person, then you will really say வணக்கம். கையை கூப்பி அந்த வணக்கம் சொல்றது அது ரொம்ப ஒரு பெரிய நல்ல விஷயம். அது நம்மளோட கல்ச்சர், அது நம்ம டெஃபினட்டா அதை ஃபாலோ பண்ணதான் வேணும். அதை பண்ணிட்டு திரும்பவும் போட்டோ நின்றுட்டு, ஏன்னா இது ஒரு லைஃப் டைம் ஒரு மெமரபிள் ஒன். இட்ஸ் கோயிங் டு பி a lifetime great memory for you. Even if I take my gold medal and the MPhil degree, Dr. Abdul Kalam ji was there. He is, everybody loves him, and he is personally, I am so much inspired after reading அக்னி சிறகுகள். தமிழ்ல அக்னி சிறகுகள் படிச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் என்னோட தெய்வமே அவர் தான். அவர்கிட்ட இருந்து நான் வாங்கும் போது எனக்கு இருந்த அந்த பெருமிதம் வந்து அந்த போட்டோ பார்க்கும் பொழுது, அந்த விஷயங்கள் மனசுக்கு வரும் பொழுது, அப்படியே we will be on cloud nine. We will be literally flying in the sky. We will be on cloud nine. ஸோ அந்த போட்டோ மொமெண்ட்டை சிரிச்சுட்டு சந்தோஷமா டிகினிட்டர்கிட்ட இருந்து வாங்கிட்டு மெதுவா இறங்கி திரும்ப ஒரு தடவை ஸ்டேஜ்ல இருந்து இறங்கி வரணும். பண்றோமா? ஐ டோன்ட் நோ. And maintain silence and standing ovation when they leave the thing. அப்புறமா you can go and meet professors, take pics and be casual, whatever you want, you do it, no problem. And interview etiquette, all of us should face this interview etiquette once in our lifetime. இது இல்லாம இது யாருமே இருக்கவே முடியாது. Before the interview, what should we do? During the interview, what should we do? After the interview, what should we do? And while you are during the interview, how should you have your body language? That matters a lot. Before the interview, you must have self-assessment. Before the interview doesn't mean that just the previous day. I'm saying maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago onwards, the preparation should start. What is the self-assessment all about? You should know your goals clearly. What are the skills you have. So நிறைய skills you may be having, so many skills, but at the time when we ask, you may be stagnant. You do not know what to say, but you may be having so many skills. For that only I'm asking you to do the self assessment. So goals என்ன, what are the skills you possess, values, எதுக்கெல்லாம் நம்ம வந்து மரியாதை கொடுக்கணும், எதெல்லாம் நம்மளோட வேல்யூன்னு நினைக்கிறோம். What are your talents, your abilities, what are your strengths, weaknesses, and your interests, and education. I will come back to this. And what kind of a work that you like to do, and you should know your resume in and out. ரெஸ்யூமேல என்ன இருக்குங்கிறதையே நம்ம வந்து சரியா படிக்காம போவோம். அவங்க ரெஸ்யூமேல இருந்தா கேட்பாங்க, ஆனா நம்ம கிரீக் அண்ட் லாட்டின் கேட்ட மாதிரி நம்ம முடிச்சிட்டு இருப்போம். ஆனா அவங்க கேட்டது வந்து நம்மளோட ரெஸ்யூமேல இருந்தா கேட்பாங்க. அப்ப என்ன அர்த்தம், நம்ம ரெஸ்யூமே சரியா படிக்கலன்னு அர்த்தம். இதுங்க எஜுகேஷன் பத்தி, see 5 semester mark sheets are there, or PG means 4 semester mark sheets are there, and they will ask, what is that you learned something new in third semester அப்படின்னு. எட்டிகெட் கோர்ஸ் படிச்சீங்களா அப்படின்னு. என்னன்னா எட்டிகெட் பத்தி தெரியாத ஆள் மாதிரி திருதுன்னு முடிக்க வேண்டியது. ஆனா எட்டிகெட் பத்தி படிச்சிருக்கோம், அழகா பிரசன்ட் பண்ணிருக்கோம், அந்த மாதிரி நடந்துக்கிறோம். எட்டிகெட், because you did not go through your certificate properly, so you should do that all properly, and you should prepare employer questions. என்னெல்லாம் கேட்க வாய்ப்பு இருக்குன்னு உங்க மியூச்சுவல் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் இருந்தா அவங்கள்ட்ட you can ask them. So you think you come consider me as an employee and you pose questions at me, I will answer அந்த மாதிரி. அப்புறம் இப்போ நான் மெஜ்ரோ காலேஜ், if I want to go to a மெஜ்ரோ college for an interview to seek a job, and I should know well about மெஜ்ரோ college through databases, web or periodicals. So if somebody is working, I should know what is the what is the age of the institution, and how long it is working, and what are all the subjects that the people give. எதெல்லாம் முடியுமோ அதெல்லாம் கேட்டு வச்சுக்கணும். And this is very important. Sometimes they want to ask some clarification to the organization, and they don't call during the appropriate working time. They will be calling during lunch time or the Saturdays and Sundays. Saturdays கூப்பிட்டு அவங்க வந்து ஒண்ணுமே பதில் சொல்லல. See, people take tea break, people take lunch break. Saturdays you can't expect people to work, so you should fix up time like that and try to contact 1 or 2 or 3 4 times, so that you will come to know the details that you require. And keep ready sufficient copies of all the documents, resume, pen, pencil. அங்கதான் வந்து சைன் வாங்குறதுக்கு பேனா கேக்குறது. We see in the admissions they won't even bring pen. We from the table give that all bad etiquette, and we should have that's not a good thing. And staples, extra photos, gums, notepad, some few A4 sheets. ஒரு ஆர்கனைசேஷனுக்கு ஏதாவது ஹெல்ப் கேட்கறதுக்காக போவாங்க, ஆனா பேப்பரே எடுத்துட்டு போக மாட்டாங்க. அங்க இருக்கிறவங்கள்ட்ட கேட்டு வாங்கிக்குவோம். அப்பதான் உங்களை எப்படி நீங்க ப்ரொஜெக்ட் பண்ணிக்கிறீங்க? நீங்க நாட் ரெடி, யூ ஆர் நாட் ரெடி, பட் யூ வாண்ட் அதர் பீப்புள் டு ஒர்க். எப்படி பாசிபிள்? அண்ட் யூ ஷுட் ஆல்சோ ஹேவ் சம் மணி வித் யூ. அண்ட் அபோவ் ஆல், இன்டர்வியூக்கு முன்னாடி நல்லா தூங்கணும். இன்டர்வியூக்கு முன்னாடி நல்லா தூங்கணும். இல்லாட்டி அங்க போய் வெயிட்டிங் டைம்ல யூ வில் பி யார்னிங். அது எல்லாம் கேமரால, சிசிடிவி கேமரால பதிவு. அங்க உள்ள இருந்து they will be watching what is this person all the time yawning. Maybe didn't sleep in the night or what, such a lazy fellow. So that kind of impression you are not supposed to leave to the employer. And during the interview what should you do? முதல்ல அந்த அந்த மொபைலை வந்து டர்ன் ஆஃப் பண்ணணும். எப்ப பார்த்தாலும் அவங்க வச்சுட்டே இருக்கிறது டர்ன் ஆஃப் பண்ணணும். And don't be tensed. இது எப்படி பண்ணலாம்னா, if you have I used to give meditation. When I start a class, I used to give meditation 2-3 minutes, and then we will go to the class. So meditation பண்றது மூலமா you can keep the tension at control and arrive early. In the sense 10 மணிக்கு போறது, அது 10:30 வருது, காலேஜுக்கு வர மாதிரியே. இப்போ suppose some universities and all, from one place to other place there may be 1-2 kilometers gap. You have to travel, so you cannot go on time. You should be early. You should be really very early, well ahead of time, and you should be courteous, polite, and professional, and comb and dress like you really mean it. Yeah, I have told about this, how to do this properly. And light colors are best for all. Whether if it's a woman, better wear the light color sarees, and for men again same thing, maybe light color shirt and the dark trousers. And respect those who are already employed, and don't be keep on watching the mobile. Take a small book, and while you are waiting, read career related information during week. And when you are called inside, don't get tense, be smiling and see, I made it here. இது கிடையாது, இது வந்து ஐஸ் வைக்கிறது, காக்கா பிடிக்கிறதுக்கா. ஈன்னு சிரிச்சோம்னா தேவையில்லாம காக்கா பிடிக்கிறதுன்னு அர்த்தம். அளவா சிரிச்சோம்னா மரியாதை கொடுக்குறோம்னு அர்த்தம். So join hands together and say வணக்கம். Sit only when asked, and when they offer a seat, don't pull and don't make a noise of the chair. While you sit, you thank them for giving a seat, and then when you move also, please make sure that you fix the table properly. Even yesterday when I was in admission, a few students came to meet me, and I took a chair and gave it to them. உட்காந்து பேசிட்டு அப்படியே விட்டுட்டு போயிட்டாங்க. அது இருக்கக்கூடாது. அது ஒரு நான் ஒரு கர்ட்டசி எக்ஸ்டெண்ட் பண்ணும்போது அந்த கர்ட்டசிய மத்தவங்களும் எக்ஸ்டெண்ட் பண்ற மாதிரி பாத்துக்கணும். நம்ம அதெல்லாம் லேர்ன் பண்ணணும். ஸோ டோன்ட் கீப் யுவர் டாக்குமெண்ட்ஸ் ஆன் தியர் டேபிள். அது பண்ணக்கூடாது. நம்ம நிச்சயமா நம்ம கிட்ட இருக்கக்கூடிய மெட்டீரியல்ஸ் we only have to keep. And when asked, you introduce yourself with a slight smile. And sit always straight, maintain eye contact. Many people don't do this. Even in our day-to-day regular conversations, if you don't maintain eye contact, I personally feel a person they don't maintain eye contact, he or she, I don't consider them genuine. I tell you very frankly, என்னை கண்ணை பார்த்து பேசினா I will believe them. கண்ணை பார்த்து பேசாத யாரையுமே என் லைன்ல வச்சுக்க மாட்டேன். So maintain eye contact, very important, good genuine character. And avoid fidgeting. கையில எப்படி ஏதோ சொடக்கு போடுறது உடைக்கிறது அதெல்லாம் பண்ணக்கூடாது. அண்ட் இப்படி போட்டு கையை திருப்பிட்டு பேனாவை போட்டு திருப்பதெல்லாம் பண்ணக்கூடாது. பி கிளியர் வித் யுவர் வாய்ஸ், யூஸ் கரெக்ட் லாங்குவேஜ், நோ ஸ்லாங்ஸ். அப்ப சில பேர் நம்ம இங்கிலீஷை ஸ்டைலா பேசுறோம்னு நினைச்சுக்கிட்டு அவங்க ஏதாவது ஒரு கேள்வி கேட்டா ஐ ஃபீல் அப்படின்னு எல்லாம் உணர்வாங்க. அதெல்லாம் லிட்டரலி பிளாபரிங். யூ ஆர் நாட் சப்போஸ் டு இஷ்யூ. இஃப் யூ ஆர் வெரி கான்ஃபிடென்ட், ஒன்லி த கான்ஃபிடென்ட் வேர்ட்ஸ் வில் கம் அண்ட் ஃபால். படன்னு கரெக்டான வார்த்தைகள் விழுகுதுன்னா அந்த கான்ஃபிடன்ஸ் இருக்குன்னு அர்த்தம். இந்த ஐ திங்க், ஐ கெஸ், ஐ ஃபீல், அதெல்லாம் ஷோஸ் தட் யூ ஆர் நாட் கான்ஃபிடென்ட், யூ ஆர் நாட் ப்ரிப்பேர்ட். பட் பீப்புள் திங்க் அதுதான் ஒரு ஸ்டைல். பட் இட் இஸ் வெரி ஸ்ட்ராங். அண்ட் இன்டர்வியூல இருக்கிறவங்களுக்கு அது தெரியும். They can judge you by every single move of yours. And be confident, be enthusiastic, be honest. And don't try to get sympathy. இது ஒரு முக்கியமான விஷயம் to be dealt. சில பேர் என்ன நினைப்பாங்க, நம்ம உள்ள போய் அழுதோம்னா காலில் விழுகிற மாதிரி விழுந்துட்டு அழுகிறது. சார் எங்க ஃபேமிலி இருக்கும், பெத்தட்டிக் சிச்சுவேஷன் இருக்கும், இல்லைன்னு சொல்லல. பட் அதெல்லாம் உங்களோட கான்ஃபிடன்ஸ்ல நீங்க வின் பண்ணணுமே, நாட் கெய்னிங் சிம்பத்தி ஃப்ரம் எம்ப்ளாயர்ஸ். தட் இஸ் நாட் குட். எனக்கு இந்த வேலை இல்லாட்டி என் உயிரே போயிடும் சார். அது மாதிரி டோன்ட் கெட் சிம்பத்தி. உங்களோட ஸ்கில்ஸ் பேசணும், உங்க கான்ஃபிடன்ஸ் பேசணும், உங்க ட்ரெஸ் பேசணும், உங்க ஆனஸ்டி பேசணும், உங்களோட வாய்ஸ் பேசணும், உங்க கரெக்ட் லாங்குவேஜ் பேசணும், உங்களுடைய படிப்பு பேசணும். இந்த சிம்பத்தி பேசுற மாதிரி நம்ம வச்சுக்க கூடாது. And thank twice while you leave. And after the interview, you can find out what happens next, and you can thank the interviewer, confirm before leaving. And sometimes they may ask you to get back to you to have some clarification. அதனால உடனே விட்டா வீட்டுக்கு ஓடி போயிடாம just stay back and see that you stay for some time till the procedures are over. And mobile phone etiquette, which we can call it as MOBIQUETTE. See here, I have many pictures. Everywhere it is a nuisance. In the relationship, people are having relationship with the mobile phones, not with the person next to them. And here in the library, some good students, studious people are studying. The one is very annoying character. This is one big annoyance. There was some actor recently doesn't like people take selfies, so he simply doesn't like it. And so all those things we are hearing everyday news. Why should you protrude your tongue? I really don't understand. This is a million dollar question. From my side, to the student community, அது ஏன் அந்த நாக்கை துருத்திக்கிட்டு லிப்ஸை குடிச்சுக்கிட்டு ஒரு போட்டோ எடுக்கணுமா? அப்படிதான் எடுக்கணுமா? அதுதான் ரூல்ஸா? யாரை பார்த்து காப்பி அடிக்கிறாங்க எனக்கு தெரியல. பட் டு elders, no elder like it. And the celebrity is speaking, see, without the permission they are going and taking selfies. Very bad, not good. And you have etiquette for teens and tweens. Every mobile phone, teensனா உங்களுக்கு தெரியும், tweensனா 9 ல இருந்து 12 வரைக்கும். அப்புறம் relative வீட்டுக்கு, you go to a relative's place to meet them and talk to them. What is the meaning if you keep your cell phone and play some games or something? Not a good etiquette. So beware of the actions that actually affect others. Should have a common courtesy, should be considerate. And in the working place, this is another big thing. So I get a call, there is a person next to me in the staff room. I speak louder, and my next person, the staff may be preparing something, or maybe having headache or something, want to relax themselves. But I shout here, and when I get a call, the whole veranda will come to know that I am on call. Very bad etiquette. We are not supposed to do. 10 foot proximity rule na 10 தள்ளி போய் மெதுவா பேசணும். Keep it short at workplace. I'm talking everything in a professional atmosphere. நான் கேஷுவல் அட்மாஸ்பியர் பத்தி பேசல. ப்ரொஃபஷனல் அட்மாஸ்பியர்ல எப்படி நடந்துக்கணும், கான்வர்சேஷனை ஷார்ட்டா வச்சுக்கணும். பப்ளிக்ல லைட்ஸ் அவுட் ஆயிடுச்சு சினிமா தியேட்டர்ல அப்படின்னா போன்ஸ் ஆஃப் பண்ணிடணும். அனாயிங் ரிங்டோன்ஸ் பாத்துக்கணும். ஒர்க்கிங் பிளேஸ்ல நாட் அட்வைசபிள். And then your loved people are next to you, no, love the one you are with, not the cell phone. And even this I learned very frequently only. Shouldn't change DPs that frequently, which shows that you are a very showy person. இதெல்லாம் வந்து பர்சனலா இருக்கும்போது வச்சுக்கலாம். நான் ஒரு ஆஃபீஸ் குரூப்ல இருக்கேன், ஸ்டூடெண்ட் குரூப்ல இருக்கேன்னா நாட் சப்போஸ் டு டூ இட். அதே மாதிரி வாட் எவர் டிபிஸ் யூ புட், வாட் எவர் ஸ்டேட்டஸ் யூ புட், வாட் எவர் அபவுட் மெசேஜஸ் யூ புட் இன் அ குரூப் ஆஃப் ஆஃபீஸ் ஆர் ப்ரொஃபஷனல் பர்சன், யூ ஷுட் ரியலி மைண்ட் இட். நிச்சயமா இதை மைண்ட் பண்ணியே ஆகணும். சில ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் குரூப்ஸ்ல அபிஷியல் குரூப்ஸ்ல இருக்கும்போது அவங்க டிபி வச்சிருக்கிறத பார்த்தா ரொம்ப ஆக்வர்டா இருக்கும். அவங்க போடுற ஸ்டேட்டஸ் அதை விட ஆக்வர்டா இருக்கும். வி டோன்ட் see பட் சம்டைம்ஸ் இட் ஹேப்பன்ஸ். அப்படி சிலது அப்படியே ஸ்பெண்ட் ஆகி அப்படி போகும்போது பார்க்கும்போது அதே மாதிரி அபவுட் மெசேஜஸ் நான்லாம் ரவுடி தாண்டா அந்த மாதிரி. அப்புறம் இந்த மெசேஜ்லயே நீங்க கன்வே பண்றீங்க யுவர் அட்டென்ஷன் சீக்கர்ஸ்னு. the ketamakeila portion is really problematic. And avoid odd time calls. This one thing is really annoying to many people, especially in mentors. I can say 24 hours you will get a call. Not good. And you should request no order. Sometimes if online classes are going on, I get messages from students. Hi ma'am, which I don't like. I want to be addressed as dear ma'am or respected madam. Okay, dear madam, fine. Or good morning madam. They say hi ma'am, add me in the group. Very bad. And Tanglish, either you switch over completely to Tamil or to English, not Tanglish. And most the students என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, ma'am photosynthesis எனக்கு புரியல Tanglishல. See, photosynthesis is ocean. What do you want me to do by posing this question to me in my WhatsApp? Now should I give the whole ocean of photosynthesis to you again? Should I type or should I send a voice message? I don't know really. I really don't know. So you should be very clear with what you are speaking to your higher authority. I cannot pose a question to my higher authority like this. Definitely I cannot do that. And in groups, it varies. Sometimes groups, if you send a message, a higher authority may expect you to give a reply, or the higher authority will not let you to reply. It depends on, so you have to act accordingly. If the expectation is to give reply, you give reply. And when it is not expected, just read the message and act accordingly. Act accordingly. And response to the superiors should always be with the text, not with emojis alone. You can text and you can add the emoji, decent emojis. I used to get emojis, many emojis like this for my reply. அவங்க ஒரு கேள்வி கேட்டிருப்பாங்க, நான் சரி போனா போது நம்ம ஸ்டூடெண்ட் ஆச்சுன்னு சொல்லி வாய்ஸ் மெசேஜோ அல்லது டைப் பண்ணியோ டவுட்ஸ் எல்லாம் அனுப்புனா இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு தம் சிம்பிள் வரும். I cannot put this thumb symbol to my higher superiors. ஒரு டவுட் கேக்குறேன், அவங்க ஏதாவது எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணாங்கன்னா நான் இப்படி தம்ஸ் அப் போட முடியாது. I should say thank you with regards. I should say my name or something. And avoid forwarding messages and avoid oversharing. And there shouldn't be any religious and community shares. And etiquette, similarly, social media is extremely, tremendously powerful one. And the way you use is very important. And all of us, many of us are there in blogs, Twitters, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and many of the online fora. And there are certain community guidelines. You have to stick on to it. As per that only you have to share. Otherwise, simply don't share. And potentially offensive texts like about parties and leaders. I constantly see some messages by students like saying one particular leader, political leader, and this person has got corona. Oh, very good, and claps. We don't have right whether we like a particular party or particular leader. When many people view it, we are not supposed to do it. You may ask, ma'am, whole world adana பண்றாங்க, whole world தப்பு பண்ணா நம்மளும் தப்பு பண்ணணும் அவசியம் கிடையாது. நம்மளோட ஓன் எட்டிகெட் எங்க போச்சு? எனக்கு ஒரு particular political party தெரியாதுன்னா அந்த பிடிக்கல அப்படின்னா I am not supposed to write anything that comes on my text. Easy. எல்லாரும் மொபைல் வச்சிருக்காங்க, anybody can write anything. Not good. And engaging in aggressive online debates, again bad. All of us are familiar with what is going on during lockdown. All kinds of rubbish it is going on. And what is the example to the younger generation that we are seeing? The younger generation, they have now cell phone for their online classes, and they go to YouTube, all rubbish is there. அப்ப எங்கர் ஜெனரேஷன் மொத்தமும் இதெல்லாம் பார்த்துட்டு இருக்காங்க. எப்படி வர போறாங்க? அப்புறம் எப்படி இந்தியாவில் ஒரு நல்ல ஒரு எட்டிகெட்டோட சில்ட்ரன் நம்ம கொண்டு வர முடியும்? It is very bad. And not coarse but serious damage. Memes பத்தி சொல்லணும். நீங்க students வந்து simply they will put memes on some people. They say it is for fun and they say it is not causing any damage, but you do not know how sensitive a person. If a person takes it in a lighter sense, no problem, but if a person is very sensitive, you are actually causing depression. ஒரு சென்சிட்டிவா இருக்கிற பர்சனுக்கு ஒரு மன உளைச்சலை தர மாதிரியான பிஹேவியர் நம்ம பண்ணக்கூடாது. நம்ம அம்மா அப்பாவை எப்படி நடத்துவோமோ அதே மாதிரிதான் நம்ம இருக்கக்கூடிய சிஸ்டத்தையும் நடத்தணும். அது ஒரு பேசிக் எட்டிகெட். அப்படி தெரியல, அந்த எட்டிகெட் தெரியலன்னா வளர்ப்பு சரியில்லைன்னு அர்த்தம். அந்த மாதிரி நம்ம இருக்கக்கூடாது. அப்புறம் இந்த சோசியல் மீடியா protocol, இதுக்கு வந்து சில பெஸ்ட் ப்ராக்டிசஸ் இருக்கு that we have to understand adapt and எதுக்காக அந்த குரூப்ல இருக்கும் அப்படிங்கறத தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டு அந்த பர்பஸ் அடாப்ட் பண்ணணும் and personal must stay personal, professional must stay professional. ரெண்டையும் வந்து சோஷியல் கொண்டு வரது not good. We are supposed to build the legacy for the future, not the other way around. And you know how many of them know the TEDx here? I don't know, or the student community out there. அவங்களுக்கு TEDx என்னன்னு தெரியாது. It's the greatest academic platform, but they know about YouTube and other things. This TEDx is the greatest platform, so you have to search in social media for the best ones. And it's only social media. If you don't use it in a proper way, it will lead to depression. That is what is being displayed here. Email etiquette, the do's and don'ts. I'm just rushing you because it's already time up. And you should keep calm when you write a mail, and you should spell the name correctly. When you are angry, when you are confused, when you are anxiety, please don't write a mail because it reflects on the documentation purpose. And spell the names correctly, and proper salutations should be there, like dear, respected, and you should start with greetings, or depending upon the times you can use all these things. And it should be to the point, and there shouldn't be any stories, and it should be very precise and concise. And you have to proofread all the time before you send a mail. If there is any editing required, do it and make it very professional. Maybe at the end you can say see you at the meeting, or you can also say don't hesitate to contact and best regards sincerely, thank you. If necessary, you have to write these things. And what you should avoid to your higher ups should not start with hi. Hi sir, hi madam, no. Good morning madam, good morning sir, fine. Spelling mistakes to be avoided, grammar mistake, homonyms should be avoided, punctuation errors should be avoided. Buzzwords, what is this buzzword? It's a fashionable but not professional ones. You should not use it. And emoticons can support with the text but not alone emoticons. So avoid emoticons and don't put anyone down. Don't avoid anyone. And I mean, don't avoid putting anyone down. And here, very important thing, when you write a carbon copy, a BCC, you should be very careful. Unless otherwise it is necessary, you don't put BCC. It is one to one person. If it is 2-3 employers, if it is necessary, if it is highly professional, then you have to add CC and BC. Otherwise, please don't do that. And avoid using capital letters in WhatsApp as well as in email. It is rude. Here comes the last part, very important, online etiquette. Now we have video conferencing, which is online, webinars online, and online classes are going to be there. First, a very few rules, very precisely you have to follow. First of all, take a place, a quiet place, and sit there. Don't take your mobile and keep walking, which is awkward. And when you are asked to put on your video, don't show your hair and head, show your face properly, and see that how much you can show. You are till up to your neck or something, and show up early. Mute your video and audio, if and whatever it is. Some people say mute both, some people say keep your video on for record purpose. You do that one, and you should give full attention to the thing and be present fully. Don't switch on and just simply go. Don't do that. And take notes if it is needed. And for class, online class, it is very important. You are supposed to take notes, and you should participate also. You should discuss with and swing into action of what you have learned immediately. If you have learned something here through this webinar on etiquette, you swing into action immediately and avoid private chats and should be decently dressed. Please mind that there is a protocol or the guidelines given by the government to dress appropriately. So you have to definitely follow this aspect. How you go to college, you should be on time and you should dress up properly. This all shows your upbringing, and you are supposed to do it. It is not that you are going to do for somebody. This is the rule and regulation everyone must follow. You definitely have to follow this. And better the students can wear the ID card. It shows how well-versed professional you are. And there should not be any parallel browsing. கிளாஸ் நடந்துட்டு இருக்கும்போது பக்கத்துல ஒரு விண்டோ போட்டு பப்ஜி விளையாடுறது அல்லது வேற ஏதாவது விளையாடுறது எல்லாம் தப்பு. அது யாருக்கு டீச்சர்ஸ்க்கு தெரிய போறதில்ல, ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ண போறதில்ல. உங்களோட செல்ஃப் டிசிப்ளின். எட்டிகெட் இஸ் ஆல் அபவுட் செல்ஃப் டிசிப்ளின். உங்க அம்மா பார்த்தாங்கன்னா, அப்பா பார்த்தாங்கன்னா, இல்ல இது உங்க கான்சியஸ் ask your conscious cheating. அப்புறம் what I personally feel is there is I've seen in some of the foreign websites and in the classes they have this particular thing, attendance with PAEA and UA. Students time short so I myself will say present, absent, absence explained, absence unexplained. இந்த விஷயத்துல வச்சு தான் அவங்களுக்கு அட்டெண்டன்ஸ் மார்க் அலாட் ஆகுது. இங்க நான் பார்த்த சில ஃபாரின் வெப்சைட் டீச்சிங் யூனிவர்சிட்டிஸ்லாம். So you have to follow that. And I like, when I conclude, I wanted to say there are so many quotes are there regarding etiquette, but the most impressive for me is that politeness is like an air cushion. Air cushion. You may think there's absolutely nothing in it. இது என்ன புதுசா சொல்லிட்டாங்க இவங்க ஒரு மணி நேரம் உட்கார்ந்து, என்ன புதுசா இருக்கு, எல்லா டீச்சர்ஸும் எல்லா நேரமும் சொல்லிட்டு தானே இருக்காங்க அப்படின்னா எல்லா டீச்சர்ஸ் சொல்றாங்க, நம்ம ஃபாலோ பண்றோமா இல்லையே, அது ஃபாலோ பண்ணணும், இப்போ பண்ணியே ஆகணும், எல்லாமே இப்போ ரெக்கார்ட் ஆக போகுது. Everything is going to be an official document to submit to the higher authorities. And this is an air cushion, but it has nothing in it. It holds you very deeply, however. So this quote, I like it very much. So that holds you very grip, firm hold. So what I would say to sum up is that punctuality being giving genuine compliments to others, and everybody wants to speak. There is nobody nobody is there to listen to anybody. Everybody wants to speak up from their side, their problem, but there is no one absolutely listen. So be a good listener. And I give a caution here. You being polite with etiquette, exhibit kindness, but with caution. Otherwise, people will take or abuse you or misuse you, or they may take advantage of you. So, kindness associated with caution, and be yourself always. And magical words, these are all the positive things. Thank you, sorry, please. You always have to use this. Avoid keep complaining about others. Avoid always criticizing others. Nobody, some people always criticize. They don't want to give any appreciation. So increase the level of appreciations. Automatically, people will come on your line. And don't keep complaining in your workplace. And this one very bad. This is a typical gossiping. I can talk about gossiping alone. Keeping the Homo sapiens book written, which is a world renowned publishers published, and many copies are being sold. And that this gossiping is a typical unevolved character. If you keep gossiping about others, you are not evolved. You are not evolved. So please, students, keep all these in your mind. Which path you want to take? You want to be polite being etiquette, or you want to be rude? It is left to you. And if you have etiquette, that is the road to radiate confidence, and the sunshine will be always at your side. So I think I've taken much of the time. I'm extremely sorry for that. If you have any questions, comments, and concerns, you can ask me. My heartfelt thanks, Ulamargu Nandigal. I apologize the organizer for taking some more time. I'm sorry for that. Please take my apologies. That's it. So my presentation is over.
Yes. Yes, sir. Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, this is from Sheila Karthik, ma'am. What could be the reason for Indians, when compared to the Westerners, not being particular about observing etiquette, ma'am?
Ma'am has got very right question. I should say that without proper implementation, rules are laid, and it is only on the records. And we definitely have to take very stringent action, implementation. They have stringent action taken if they don't follow the etiquette. I have observed it. They do it. I can share one example. Like when I was traveling by bus in Germany, That was my first visit, and everything was new. When I landed over there, I felt I landed in a heaven because everything is very clean. And வடிவேல் சார் வந்து ஒரு படத்துல சொல்ற மாதிரி அங்கேயே சாப்பாடு வச்சு சாப்பிடுற மாதிரி ஒரு காமெடியில சொல்லுவாரு. எனக்கு சரியா ஞாபகம் இல்ல. அவ்வளவு கிளீனா இருந்ததுன்னு சொல்றதுக்கு. அங்க போய் the moment I landed, I felt as if I landed in a heaven. It was like that way. And when I was traveling in the bus, it was a kid. It just started walking. ஒரு 2 வயசு இருக்கும் அந்த குழந்தைக்கு. ஜஸ்ட் 2 வயசு இருக்கும். அந்த குழந்தைக்கு அவங்க அம்மா சாக்லேட் கொடுத்தாங்க. சாப்பிட்டுட்டு அந்த சாக்லேட்டை வந்து அதோட ஜர்க்கின்குள்ள வச்சுக்குது. That kid did not throw the chocolate paper down in the bus. அந்த 2 வயசு குழந்தைக்கு அந்த எட்டிகெட் எப்படி தெரிஞ்சதுன்னு எனக்கு தெரியல. சோ क्वेश्चन வந்து வீட்ல இருந்து ஆரம்பிச்சு நம்மளோட ஆக்ஷன்லயே we have to show etiquette to the children, and it's a cumulative effort should be made. And when it comes professional academic institution or workplace, definitely ஒரு strict action எடுக்கும் பொழுது இது நடைமுறைப்படுங்கிறது என்னோட personal feeling. That I think I have answered to your question. ரொம்ப ப்ராப்பரா கீழ இருந்தே கொண்டு வரணும். அட்லீஸ்ட் ஒர்க்கிங் பிளேஸ்ல ரொம்ப ஸ்ட்ரிக்ட்டா அதை இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்ணணும். இங்க நான் வந்து இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷன் பேரெல்லாம் சொல்ல விரும்பல. இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷன்ஸ் இருக்கு. நான் ஒர்க் பண்ண இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷன்ஸே ப்ரீவியஸா இருக்கு. அங்கதான் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் பிஹேவ் கமிங் ஆன் டைம் டு த கிளாஸ் இஸ் பாசிபிள். தே கம் ஆன் டைம் டு த கிளாஸ். அவங்க ஃபைன் போடுறாங்க. அந்த ஃபைனை வந்து ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸுக்கு வந்து திரும்ப ஏதாவது ஒரு வெல்ஃபேருக்கு ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸுக்கே பண்றாங்க. இந்த மாதிரி சின்ன சின்ன மெஷர்ஸ் எல்லாம் அவங்க எடுக்கிறாங்க. இஃப் யூ டேக் சம் stringent action again in thinking the welfare of them, I think it is possible.
Thank you, ma'am. The sentence expressed that politeness is right in Yara's question is very kind of you, ma'am. It's absolute these students must keep in mind, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Your talk inspired us a lot. I would like to express one Sanskrit quotation. Ayam nijaha paro veti gananam lagu chetasam udhara charitanam tu vasudhaiva kudumbakam. A person who follows the principles to live human values, obeys various etiquette values, will be a broad-minded person who accepts good etiquette of others person without any differences. Definitely, ma'am, controlling all our senses will enlighten self-realization, which make us to follow a life in a good manner. It gives me a great pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this event to dignitaries assembled here. I would like to thank our chief guest, Dr.S.Gnaana Saraswathi ma'am, who honored this webinar with her informative thought, which it made us to show inspirational interest, and we definitely follow and become forerunners in our life. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a wonderful webinar. I would like to thank our beloved principal, heads of various departments, faculties, students, and participants, volunteers. Last but not least, our audience to make this event a grand success. Thank you all. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. So thanks everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much.
இந்த வர